Hey guys, so I am back for another little tutorial, and I'm going to do a little experimenting on this one. So, you gotta come along for an experiment ride. I got some black UV resin, have my UV light, and I do have a mold here that I would normally probably do with actual resin. And there's a glob of this. Piece of dried glob. Let's get him off of there so that it doesn't fall into our mold. However, I want to try something, an experiment. So, I would normally probably pour this mold, but I'm not going to be filling it all the way up anyway, so I just want to see if this would work, basically. So join me as we see if we can get enough of a base bottom that it fills in our edging, and we'll pop these bubbles so don't think I don't see those booger bubbles. So just adding till I get this all the way filled up. And what I'm going to do to get that bubble is grab my little lighter. And this mold is attached. These are for like name tags and tags for teachers or doctors, nurses, things like that. So I'm just gently hitting it where those bubbles are. There's a few bubbles that are being a little pesky because they're a little deeper so I can see them. So what you can do is use a little tool, that's the silicone brush, and just bring this up a little. So boppity bop bop bop. Okay, so I have my Let's Resin double light. I'm going to make sure the top and the bottom are working. Sometimes they don't like to line up perfectly, so yep, there's our top and bottom. I'm going to slide that in. I should have probably did it on my, when I did that I can see all kinds of, this UV resin is strong. Gotta be careful, that one just start that. Oh wow. Okay, well, we're not getting those bubbles out. I can see some bubbles on the bottom side. This experiment might be a fail, but we're rolling with it. We're rolling and a rolling. So putting that on there, and then I am going to I'm going to see here what I'm going to do. So, oops. I'm going to use this mica powder that's like a chameleon mica powder. It's from Let's Resin, and I've never used theirs. So, we get to experiment with that. And get to see how it works. Got me some scissors. The black UV resin is definitely more strong, potent wise, than the regular UV resin, the clear. So I would say note that. I probably should have used one of my little spoons to spoon that out, but it's okay. we're just going to roll with it. And as hard as that was already, it's probably pretty well cured, but we're just going to let it finish out. And I wanted both top and bottom so that it cured it from the underside too. And it definitely got really hot. And it started curling the mold a little bit, so that's a little interesting. But it's thin enough right now and warm enough that I can flatten it back out, basically. So that's what I've done. Alright, we're going to get a little bit of the clear, and I'm going to mix this in. I say a little bit, like I'm filling quite a bit of UV resin into there, because what I want to do is mix this up really well, and then I want to paint, basically, for lack of better terms, this color in. And spread it around. So it's going to give us kind of this shimmery green. It's still, the mold is still a little not so flat, but I'm just gonna have to roll with it. So what I'm trying to do basically is just spread this, and I probably didn't make enough, but spread this around on top, because I wanted the black to give us a nice base, but I wanted the top here to have this green shimmer because of what I'm going to put on top of that. So, if you can hear my daughter, she's chattering to my husband. She turned 9 this past weekend, so she's just full of jabber. Let's see. And then my cat scratching. Lovely. That's why I've done some videos lately where I do the audio later, because then I know that I do it when the kids are sleeping. Can't help the animals, but he's scratching like, let me in. I'm like, no. Okay. I'm going to roll with that. Cure that up. I didn't really see bubbles, so I didn't feel like it was necessary to do that. Now, the next part, we are going to take a temporary tattoo, and we are going to add it to that. So I'm going to prep space for that. I have chosen this cutie patootie right here. So I'm just cutting it out. And I'll probably add some of these flowers and some of the other little pieces. It's gonna probably have to be pieced together slowly because I probably can't figure out what I exactly want until I see it. And that's fine. And then we will need a spray bottle of water. We're gonna see if this is gonna work. So, of course, with temporary tattoos, you do have the clear part here, so we want to take that off. Just making sure it didn't want like hot water or anything, which it doesn't, so we're good there. I dipped. I didn't put my tray in very well, so it's like wobbling. I'll just hold it. I just sit here and hold it. It's so pretty. You guys probably can't really see the light that I have, but that's okay. Because I want you to be able to see the actual workspace. Oh, forgot he's sticky. I like this double UV light though, because it will definitely help cure this up. Much better. Oh yeah. Whew. Gorgeous. It's hard, which is great. That's what you want. So I'm going to put it where I want it and hope that that's where I want it, because that's where it's going. We're going to spray water at the back. Make sure that that's good. Oh my gracious, y'all. Can you see this? Like, how dang cute. I'm going to drip the water off of there. How dang cute is that? Oh my gracious. I am so happy with it. I'm like, look at you. You're so cute. You're so cute. I love it. I can't get enough of it. Alright, so let's try to add some little ones here. Let's see. I'm thinking you would be really cute. There's a really cute arrangement to it. I just don't know if it's going to be too much, so let's just see. Might be cute up there in the corner with that one. And then this little one. It's gonna start going. I don't want it to. Let's just see how it works. Might have almost ruined it by getting that wet. But let's just see. I think we're just gonna kind of get with it. Actually, let's put the sunflower up here, and then I have another pink one that's really cute, and it will go in this corner. So, I'm just sticking these kind of where I want them, per se. At least, I think, where I want them. And then, let me cut out this pink one. And we'll put those 4 on. And I'm probably going to have to let it dry before I can put another layer of resin. But then I would put just clear resin over that. Probably take it out of the tray even after that round. And just do a quick little doming of it. And it would be done. Which would be really cool. So it doesn't take much water. Just a little. Just for that back to absorb, and I, with the cowl, just pressed it down, and like it already is slippery slidey. Look how cute. That one's a little hard to see just on this background, but it's still so cute. That one kind of smudged a little bit, but I don't think you'll notice because it's in the corner. And then look at that one. So cute. These are all slimy and gross. Temporary tattoo situation there. But, oh my goodness. Hopefully there is like a something sticky there. I'm just trying to soak up what water I can on it. I'm going to see. It doesn't look. Yeah, it looks fine. Looks fine, y'all. I love it. So, can you see that? It's so cute. So, I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes. Let it just air dry for me so that I don't get anything funky with water mixing with the UV resin. And then I'll come back and we'll put a clear coat on, take it out of the mold, dome it, and then truthfully, I think it's done. I might do an outline on the border, and then it's literally done. And that was maybe one of the quickest projects I've done. So, hope you enjoy. Bye. Okay, so we are back. And as a little good measure, I am going to take my heat gun just on low. Make sure that those tattoos are dried out. Yeah, they feel good and dried. They felt just maybe a little damp when I ran my finger over them. Now they feel great. So, just going to do a real thin layer, as thin as possible, with UV resin. UV resin is, I find, somebody might dispute this, but I find counterculture DIY UV resin to be a little bit thicker, so it's not going to move so fast. So for you to get one solid layer, you're putting down a little bit more than maybe you would with like a thinner resin. Which doesn't bother me. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just stating. And I'm just giving steady pressure on the bottle so that consistent amount comes out. And then I am going to run my lighter. Not so much for bubbles, but I just want to see, like, I can see some gaps in the resin that I want to fill in. It just helps lighting wise be able to see where the resin hasn't, like maybe there just wasn't enough resin, or potentially the bottom layer is repelling it. So I want to make sure that it's got enough. And if you hear this like weird noise, it's my dogs. They are playing. They do this strange thing. And it's really funny sounding. Oh yeah. This is looking really good. There's a little bit more needed right there. Okay. I think we're good. So, put this baby back in here. One complaint I have about my UV light is that lining the tray up in there correctly is really, really challenging, and it's hard to do. So, I don't love that. So I just would tell you, you gotta watch that and be careful. This looks really cute. I had this idea for my sister because she loves howling cows, and I found these tattoos and I'm just in love. And she's a nurse, so what cute way to put your badge on. I don't know how practical it will be for her, but I had to try. I had to try this. And you could definitely do pours, but you'd have to do a really thin pour for what I was wanting to do with the cow. A real thin pour to get a background color, and then, I mean, really I did 2 background colors to get that coloring. I would have done a thin pour of black, a thin pour of the chameleon mica powder, and then add our tattoos and hope that I had enough room to do a thin layer of the clear, and it would have taken a really long time. So this speeds up that process, basically. If it works and holds up. I haven't taken it fully out of the mold, so that will be the true tester here when it comes out. And see. And see, and see. Okay. Did you tell how excited I was to pull it out there? I was like whipping it out. Alright. So we have a little... Oh, I see what happened. It just went down around it. Let's see if we can sort of flatten this out so you can see basically the chameleon resin, mica powder resin, like seeped through the mold, and that's what happened. It seeped up over here and made kind of a funky thing. I think it's fixable. I think I'll be able to clean that up. This is a little funky. I had a weird bubble right behind that knob. I just couldn't see it. So when I do the clear coat, I need to definitely get that cleaned up. I just want to take my Dremel tool on the low speed and just take off the edges. This corner is very pointy and there's like a glob there. I'm going to do this edge. Just to hopefully kind of clean that up. It's really sharp back here too. I'm going to do another layer on the back and another layer on the front, so I wasn't worried about scraping it up, basically. Anytime I use the Dremel, I'm going to take just a little bit of water, wipe where I used it, pick up any of that dust residue, so that hopefully we don't end up with it on our piece. And if I wasn't doing it on video, I probably wouldn't have even done it in this space. And all I'm doing there is just trying to flatten this back out a little bit more before I do the next round. Oh, he is. It's so dang cute. I don't know if it comes through on the video how cute this is, but it's stinking cute. Okay, so the back, I'm going to do another black coating on the back. Just because I want to kind of go with that flow. So I'm just kind of going to the edges, not over the edges. I say that and then I get it a little too fast. Probably should have started in the middle, worked my way to the edge. You know, you live and you learn. And again, I'm just giving even amount of pressure on the bottom so that I can fill in these spots. And then when I see that maybe there's not enough in that area, that's where I go back and just try to get enough in that area. Couple of bubbles, maybe. Whoops. Went right into it. It's more that it's that I don't have enough resin right there, and so that it needed it. Okay. I'm going to slide that back in. I am going to keep my bottom and the top curing on it because I do want it to penetrate that light through the bottom to get it. So, I don't think you can see on camera, but there are fumes coming off of that. Not the best to be breathing So definitely wear your protective gear when you're doing this. You can't probably see it on here though. It just, I could see a little bit of fumes coming off. And that black is very strong. I also ordered the white in that Encounter Culture DIY I'm going to use for another project that I have in mind. And we'll see how it smells. I'll be curious. I'll be curious. This little guy's so cute though. Dang. I am in love. Okay. Tearing up nicely. Nicely, nicely. I'll pull this one out and then we'll flip it and do the front side with clear. And then honestly, I'm going to edge the edges with a paint pen, an oil paint pen, oil based. And literally it will be done. I would let it still cure for 24 hours before like I would give it to somebody or ship it, just because that resin needs to finish hardening fully. UV does a lot of the work, but you would want it to not get bent or out of shape during the time. But like y'all can hear how that is all cured up. There is something still residue-wise on this tray. Alright, cute. Alrighty, let's see if I can. Yeah, you're gonna drip down because of that, but again, should start in the middle, huh? But we're already here. And go at the pace that you feel comfortable with filling in with the UV resin. So, like, I'm squeezing pretty significantly, but consistently right now. But if you didn't want to have that much resin coming out, you could do less pressure and not have as much come out as fast. And slow that down for yourself to have more control. So just go at your pace. UV resin is pretty easy to work with. There are some quirks and things, and obviously you're going to learn things as you go along. But hopefully I can help you avoid some of the trial and errors that I had when I started out. Alright. There was definitely a patch there that looked empty, so I wanted to fill that in. Got it filled in. And, oh, see, let's go perfectly in. So we'll do another 2 minutes. I'm going to bring this into view so you can actually see the light. This double-sided UV light. Phenomenal. It's been one of my better purchases. I would tell you, oh, you might be able to see this stuff coming off of that. Whew. There are some things that I would definitely tell you that would be important to always make sure that you get. Okay, that lid definitely, I mixed up my lids, and so I got a little nervous that this one didn't go here, but it does. Okay. There are a few things that I would definitely spend the money on, and that is worth spending the money on. One would be your resin. Make sure that you get a good quality resin. Don't use the ones that come in a kit online, just because truthfully Those are probably cheaper resin, which is why you can buy the whole kit. It's probably going to frustrate you with your resin. If you start with that, it's going to frustrate you. I know it's scary to start with a more expensive resin because you want to trial and error and get things out of the way. But being honest with you, you're going to have more success quicker if you get into a good resin. Counterculture DIY, I preach them constantly because I love them and I love their product. I love their service. They have always been really, really good. I would say that definitely check them out. But I get it. It is expensive. And I'm sorry, it's really thirsty there, so I had to get a drink. But, and then the other thing is make sure getting the right tools situated to do what you want to do. So if it's tumblers that you're wanting to do, get a good turner. If it's you want to do coasters, get good molds. If it's you want to do UV resins, buy a good UV light. Those would be the things that I would say. So, I don't know if it was noticeable in the video, but that was really curled. And it's because there's so many layers of resin going, and it's all getting heated up, and this is warm to touch. But because it's warm, it is flexible. Now, it won't stay flexible. It will harden. As this cools off, it's going to harden. So we just want to make sure that we keep it kind of flat. I missed a bubble, or a bubble popped up right there, but I don't think it's overly noticeable. And look at how cute. It is so sweet. It's still trying to curl in my hands even. So I'm going to keep just counteracting that curl for a moment. And whew, it is definitely warm. I would maybe even put it under something tonight just to keep it flat. Probably like put it down here, put my tray on top, and then put some weight on that just to help keep that to stay flat, because otherwise it will continue to probably try to curl. Before I do that though, I'm going to give our edges a paint so that you can see that. This, if you've watched any other videos, I've edged some items with this. This is an oil-based paint. This is silver. I have silver and gold. And it's just like a paint pen, except it's really strong. It smells like spray paint. And what I like about using one of these is that it's just going to help hide the layers there. I probably should have sanded out this top. Hindsight. But, and I may still, once this fully hardens, clean that up and then just repaint it. But it just helps hide that there's green and that there's black and the different layers. It's going to hide that and give you a more completed look. And here's the side that I did journal. So it's a little bit better than that top. And because I'm painting it, it's covering and hiding the imperfections of the Dremel and the scraping of that. Oh, look at that. So with a badge reel, typically then you would add one of these. So this would go on here. And it would just get snapped in. The person could then add their actual name badge on either side. And then it's also retractable. So I know a lot of teachers use retractable ones for their getting into the school and for their name badge because they have to scan it. I just noticed that there's a gap of UV resin right here. So I'm going to fill that in really quick. I'm going to unsnap that. The edges are probably dry, but I don't want to completely mess with them, so. And minor thing, take off your lid. See, you can learn from me. Alright. It's just I didn't get that UV resin all the way to the edge, apparently. Oh, I keep making a bubble. Stop making a bubble. Hopefully, that will level itself out and not show a big line there. I'm not sure if that's going to work or not. It's wanting to show this line, but it might just be that that just is what it be. So I'm going to go ahead and probably maybe regret that I missed that on the first round. So, but we're going to roll with it and see what happens. And then I'll stack this up, put something on it flat, and it will be ready to go in the morning for sure. So letting this cure up. I had another kiddo walk in, so you won't get the full 2 minutes, thankfully, for your sake. And she had told me her kitty cat has the hiccups, which is really funny. Shaking her whole bed. She's supposed to be asleep by now, but she's not. Irony. So, might be okay. It's gonna be what it be. It's still so dang cute. It's still so cute. Can't get over how cute it is. So, yeah. So, experiment. I would say positives. Came out really cute. If I might say so myself. It worked. Really, overall, I would say it worked. One reason why we had some drippage on the sides is just because that black, when it cured, it tightened, which is what it's supposed to do, so it pulled from the mold. And then when we did that next layer, it just rolled over and sealed. But, so I've learned a little bit, maybe not. I'd watch my edges a little bit more when I put that second layer on to not have that happen. Downside is it's curled, or trying to curl, but I think that's going to be fixable, because, yeah. Downside is that it's just going to have what looks like a crack in it, but it's not cracked. It's just that I didn't do that well. So, and there we go. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably put this on top, like I said, and I'll get some weighted items to put down on it, something heavy, and let that sit overnight for 12 hours, and that should be nice and cool and hardened in the morning, and as flat as it's gonna get, basically. And there is our experiment. I am very happy with it. Of course, we've got some improvement areas to do, but I hope you guys enjoyed a little experiment and coming along for the ride of that and being able to complete a project in one tutorial video. So that's exciting. I will definitely be doing some more things soon, and I hope to have you guys join again. If you have questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section and I'll be happy to answer them. See you later.